Oh, wait, hang on. I'm getting a call. Hello?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just about to film Danika's player interview, so. Oh. Yeah, okay, I'll let her know. Yeah. Cottage Cheese is on the phone. Didn't know if you wanted to talk to him.
I would have rathered it have been 9/11.
I thought about it, but I thought that you would be expecting that.
So, yeah. I don't know if you know this. Cottage cheese can't talk. And if it could, it would have called me a faggot.
What's up, Moggers and Looksmaxers? Welcome back to Whispers of the Dice. This is our, it's the first player interview that I've filmed. I don't know what order they're going to come out in. But normally it'll have Jesse and I both interviewing one of our players from our Fantasy 1 to 20 campaign, Territor's Trespass Shattered Alliance. This is too early in the day for Jesse, and Danika works early. So we're filming this early. I'm here. Jesse's with his kids. It's all good. We're just going to talk about the campaign in general, Maverick, Danika and Joe, etc. Because do you remember how you joined the campaign?
A text message.
Wrong.
Wait, were we sitting in class or something?
We had not, barely met each other. So this was right during, Danika and I were running a club together at our college, and Abby had already joined the campaign.
Hold on. For context, we hadn't been running it together yet. Joe had just recently come up and been like, I have these credentials, and you need to listen to all of them right now. And I'm standing at a podium that's too tall for me, going, okay.
That's how Danika and I met. Was Danika did a interest meeting for a creative writing club at our school, and Danika's standing at a podium that comes up here, and this
so incorrect. At most here, not that far out.
And finishes the meeting, and she says, if anybody's interested in doing social media, whatever it's called, coordination for the club, come up to me afterwards, we'll talk about it. And I remember sitting there going, I really want to be friends with these people. Like, these people that are in this club are the kind of people I vibe with, and I don't have any friends. 2, I know how to do that, and if I'm a officer in the club, I know I'll come back and not get scared and stay at my house. So I went up afterwards and I was like, I think Danika's the coolest person in the world at this point. You have to understand. I think that Danika is this
not
cool...
anymore, but at this point.
Yeah, now I've seen the light. But at the time, I thought that Danika was this cool, queer, just short hair, tattoos, eyeliner, punk kid. Not punk, but, standing at the podium. And it's just this cool, edgy artist that I want to be friends. And I'm walking up my backpack on both arms, can't wait, first day of school. And so I go up and I go, hey, I wanted to talk to you. I'm interested in the social media coordination position. I've done social media coordination for this company before, and then I ran it for this, and then I've been doing this for 3 years. And Danika went, not kidding, this is exactly what Danika did. Danika went, you don't have to read me your resume. If you want it, you can have it. And I go, okay. And Danika was already friends with Abby. And we started running this club together. Or not running it, but I was an officer in the club and Danika was running it. And then we get to... This was in late fall 2023. I think we were just at an event together for college with me, you, Abby, and others. And I had already convinced Abby to join. And I said something to Abby about it while the 3 of us were together. And I said, you were like, what are you guys talking about? And I asked if you'd played D&D before, and you said no, but it sounds really cool. I've always wanted to. So I said, well, this would be one heck of a first campaign, but do you want to join a 1 to 20, which means you start at level 1, you go all the way to level 20. And so, we're filming this in December 2025. This was probably November 2023. It's 2 years ago. And you were like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm not doing anything. Like, and we kind of went from there. So, that's how Danika got started. But what's your memory of, like, character creation and what we asked of you and what you wanted to play and, like, what your hope and your dream was for? Because I remember that we gave you country options and you had to pick which one you wanted to be from, or we might have even just told you, like, hey, you and Abby have to be a pair, so which country do you guys want to be from?
Yeah. So, with the context of nothing, because I've never played D&D before, and I watched it, and that's it. And so, I remember you guys had told me, hey, you're going to be from Imperia, and at the same time I'd already started to think of a class, and I'll get to why I picked that class. For, like, the one thing I read, I went, I'm doing that class. But I got told, you need to be someone important. I was like, oh, I'll be a politician. Again, no context of the game, didn't realize this was a crazy ass. And then I said, I want to be a barbarian, which, barbarians are fucking stupid. So, I said, I'm gonna be the truest politician ever and be a fucking idiot politician with anger issues. And I remember, obviously we did more details, and really committed to being a barbarian. And I just remember making up, I saw Maverick was a type of truck, and I thought that was funny, so I chose Maverick as an...
I didn't know that. Okay.
I did. So Maverick is a truck. It's also a wine brand that Trader Joe's sells, by the way. And
Sneaky. Was sponsored. Yeah. We love Trader Joe's.
We're sponsored by Trader Joe's. And chose Tashad, sounded like a douchey name, and I made him the third. And I came up with an insane, but not that detailed, I'll admit, backstory.
It got very detailed, though.
It did over time, because I think because I started learning the game, and then I was like, I'm just going to start adding these things in, mistakenly not telling always tell your DMs first. Didn't tell my DMs up front about some of the things.
Yeah.
He has a baby mama.
He didn't tell me that he had a child until it came up in game. That was crazy.
No, it came up.
He didn't tell me, like Maverick didn't tell me. Danika didn't tell me, yeah.
No, I didn't say anything. I just said, a letter. He had sent a letter to Clementine and said something about his son. And then both DM's faces went, what?
In game, we both go,
no.
because it's not like a big, like, earth-shattering, plot-changing thing, so it doesn't really matter. But it was something that, like, we would have said something about that when we were in the Capitol if we'd known, so.
Right. And also, he's a politician, so then we had to come up with, hey, who knows? Who doesn't know? When this comes up, you'll be ruined.
Yeah.
Did you know that? And I didn't know that. I also will call this a Lou Wilson foul, because he admitted in one of his interviews that this was a mistake he made. When you play a collaborative storytelling game, you should, regardless of how edgy and emo or, like, Dark Lord you want to make your character, you still need to make other players like you. And they need to like you. They don't need to like your character, but they need to like you. And I had second session when we did a rumor epistolary moment, dropped one of the rumors I'd gotten emailed immediately, probably the worst one, to off the bat, first rumor he ever spread, went up to a bunch of hot women, MILFs one might say, and told them that a little frog country has a one-child policy, and an effort, which no one knew why he did that for a long time, because the shock of just doing it on its own was crazy. Granted, that was a DM NPC. I probably would not have done that if it had been, like, Abby's character or someone else's, but word of the wise.
You must know, I loved that. You can see my face when you say that, because I was DMing during that session, but you can see I'm sitting there listening to you, and then I go, And I, like, smirk at the camera as soon as you say it. It's just, like, this autonomous smirk. And Jesse had zero facial expression at the time. We genuinely had to go back and go, hey, Danika just dropped your biggest player secret, and you were, like, at the camera, so you need to sort of show facial expression more. But anyway, so I think, Danika, in general, you're very hard on yourself on how much people, quote-unquote, dislike Maverick or dislike you for how you play Maverick. No one in the campaign dislikes how you play Maverick. Everyone thinks he is such a wonderful character, and he was, like, my sole focus for such a long time in the creation of the first leg of the campaign. And that shows in how the story played out in the first quarter. And my focus has had to shift now because we're in a different nation. Like, there's not a ton to do with Maverick, but he's always had one of my favorite stories. And you play very similarly to how I do, in that you start with a skeleton, but then you build it into a really fleshed out person as you continue on to go. And so Maverick very clearly has the most fleshed out backstory of any player. I mean, that's just true. We could give you almost like a week by week timeline of Maverick's life, which is awesome for, like, planning and that kind of thing. But while there are things that Maverick has done that characters in game disagree with, there's never been a moment, I don't think, past, like, session 5, like, once you got into it, that you've done a decision and anyone has gone, I don't really understand why Danika did that. Like, no one, even if in-game their character disagrees with Maverick's choices, no one outside of game is going, that didn't make sense, Danika. Like, and the only thing that I can even think of that I've ever felt that way about was the first time that the frog rumor was dropped. Because I remember I asked you after, I said, I love it. I love the drama. I don't understand why he did it. And you just said, he's just kind of grasping at straws. Like, he's on this envoy. He's hoping this will come back as something he can use later. He's a politician.
Yeah.
You know, if you spread dirty gossip about somebody from another nation, usually that works out in your favor. So.
Yeah. You always have, because when I had done it, I had player choice-wise done it as a 1. I was emailed these rumors, I'm going to use them.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you did, because I think you're the only one that spread them with intent, which is what I wanted.
There's also the other ones I got, one of them was about Cyrus, that as a player, metagame, well, not really metagame, but I looked at it and I went, this bitch already hates me. Mission accomplished. I don't need her to hate me more.
Do you remember what your rumors were?
One of them was about Cyrus being something, like, it was something dirty about Baranth, including Cyrus. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that she was the executioner. It was just something, no, it was that Cyrus doesn't like Empyreans. That was the rumor I'd gotten. Which, then I was like...
It's like, duh! I can tell that!
Yeah, I was like, does Josie know my... Because the first interaction they had, like, does Josie know my fucking rumors? Because Cyrus and Maverick, first interaction was, I know you don't like me. And Maverick's like, what?
Well, that's because Josie's rumors that she was emailed, for context, when we created this, we emailed each player 5 rumors, one about each other PC that they have heard. So, like, one of Danika's was that Cyrus hates Empyreans. Josie got a rumor that says Maverick hates Varanthians. So, we immediately pitted you guys against each other on purpose.
And the other, I also had to think of it as a, like, player-wise, yes, I was there, I'm going to spread the nastiest rumor in here. Then also, character-wise, the Cyrus not liking Varanthians, why the fuck would, or Empyreans, why would Maverick, a politician, give a shit about that?
Right, she's nobody.
He didn't like himself, so he would have heard that and gone, I get it. The other one was about Theo punching,
yes. Punching a teacher.
Hole.
No.
No, a cave. It was...
Yeah, she created a labyrinth or something underneath the school, and Theo went, I what?
And Maverick would, in that player moment, thinking, well, what would Maverick have done hearing that? Probably gone, that's sick.
Sounds awesome.
But not true. I've been to that school.
Yeah.
Those at basement's nothing. Or probably like, I don't know. I think I read, I was like, Maverick probably did worse at that school. And he's not gonna talk about a child. That's a kid. He's 35. She's a kid. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then the other one, the Kiana one, I think we just got 3. I don't think I had a...
You did. You got one for Lorik and Bart as well. Let me look up what they were.
I think Bart's was something about BTS, and Maverick's BTS secret #1 fan, so he was never going to say anything bad about them.
Yeah.
And then Lorik's wouldn't have made sense. I can't remember off the top of my head. The sun or something?
It says, Theo dug a cave into the side of the mountains with her bare hands. BTS only let Bartolomeo into their band out of pity. Cyrus keeps to herself because she thinks she's better than the rest of Varanth. Lorik is a prisoner of war from Terrador that Abbasalia brainwashed to be a weapon. And Kiana had a twin brother at birth, but due to Abbasalia's one-child rule, the twin brother was killed. And that was December 2023.
You want to hear something really funny about that?
Yeah.
I now remember, so when Maverick read Bart's, it was when he heard Bart's, he absolutely had that #1 fan moment of, please, that's not true.
Taylor Swift would never charter a private jet.
No. That's absolutely wrong. But when he read the Lorik one, he had the immediate thought of, Abbasalia is not smart enough to do this.
Well, I was going to say, I think a better way to combine, if you had done the previous rumor or whatever, something that would have made it more potent, you would have hit 2 rumors at once, and it would have made people, I think, maybe get why you did it a little more, would be if you had said the princess's twin brother was killed because of a one-child policy, and now they won't even let her leave the country without this prisoner of war that they've brainwashed to be a weapon of mass destruction. Yikes.
Right.
What is Abbasalia hiding? And turned it into this big Abbasalian thing, which is what he was trying to do, but people were too focused on the fact that, it was as if it was saying that something that Kiana was doing was wrong, which wasn't what you were doing. It was just like, hey, isn't this country messed up? They're killing kids? Yikes,
Right. And it's funny because I know I just said Maverick wouldn't talk about a child. Kiana's also a child. An insight into him at that time, I think I'd said this at some point to either you or Jesse too, is that yes, Kiana was a kid. However, Maverick was also a child in politics as well. So in his mind, it was more of a, I did this, you can take it because I took it.
Yeah.
And he hadn't gone through his trauma. That man needs therapy. He hasn't gone through his traumas. He hadn't, at that time, he hadn't thought about what happened to him as a kid wasn't good, and how he was brought up wasn't good. He just saw a fellow politician knows how politics works, not thinking this is a politician from a different type of political background. She's a princess. This was born. My family got this way through oil rig. My family got this way through blood. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
Then he felt really bad sitting on a carriage with her, where she is trying to ask him advice about how to address
these rumors.
Rumors about her, and how do you put up with it? And I don't remember exactly what he said. He wasn't dismissive. I think he had a good conversation. If he hadn't spread the rumor, I think he had a good conversation with her about how to let that shit go, knowing he was the shit.
Yeah.
He had done it.
And that, you talking about baby politician kind of brings me to my next point. We know a good bit about Maverick's timeline pre-campaign. It's, born in rich political empire dynasty. Older brother Cedar was supposed to be taking over the political mantle because nobody thought Maverick could, basically. So Cedar was going to do it so that Maverick didn't have to. And Cedar did it. He got elected. Everybody seemed to really like him, even though his politics were very different from Dad and Grandpa. And then after an argument that happened at a political gathering of some kind, Maverick was serving as Cedar's advisor at the time. And Maverick slipped, messed something up, something like that. Cedar and Maverick get into an argument about it on the way home. And As they're arguing about it, they're in the middle of the woods near their house. Maverick pushes Cedar. Cedar hits his head on a rock, and he dies. Because of this, Grandpa makes Maverick dig the hole and bury his brother, and then basically take over his life. And, he is Maverick Todd III now, but he is now the one that has to run the politics. So his advisor, it becomes his good friend Joel. And
they have a very Aaron Burr Hamilton
situation. And going back in time slightly, he had this good friend Joel in high school at the Monk Academy, and then also a kind of girlfriend on and off, whatever, with his good friend Clementine. And him and Clementine continue kind of an on-again, off-again relationship as Maverick becomes a politician. Maverick is elected, third time's the charm. Tashad Sr. lied to you, Tashad Jr. betrayed you, third time's the charm. Wiser is the Tashad who listens, all these awesome things. Gets elected on these, compared to his grandparents, like Grandpa and Dad's very conservative views, he's coming forward as a progressive, is elected. He's a black sheep in the political community, because, wildly going against his family's dynasty. But in general, he's the senator of District 1, and everybody really likes him. They're generally, even if they don't agree with his policies, District 1's a pretty progressive place, so they're kind of, they're cool with what he's doing. When he's 25, Cedar dies, he becomes senator, and he finds out that Clementine is pregnant. All of it, all in one Christmas break, sort of.
Yeah.
So Clementine offers to marry him because she wants her son to have a father, and she's willing to kind of give up her life of freedom and go be trapped as a senator's wife for that to happen. Maverick says, I love you too much to do that. You stay here, live your life of freedom, raise my son. He can't know that I'm his dad. That puts him and you in danger. And I'll send you money. And so we continue that. For 10 years, it's sex, drugs, rock and roll, political parties, all this stuff. And then he is told to go represent Imperia at a funeral by his advisor Joel. His advisor Joel is certainly into him in like a weird way. And he had just toured his alma mater, the Monk Academy, and said, I don't know, get somebody to go with me. I'm not going alone. He said, why don't you take a young student from the Monk Academy, blah, 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 whatever. And so Theo and Maverick, off they go. But do you remember how Clementine was created? I love Clementine. I love Cyverick, or whatever you call Cyrus Maverick ship. If Maventine became a thing, I would not be mad at all. Do you remember how Clementine happened?
I think we made some type of, I thought we were making like a joke at first or something, and then it devolved into like,
oh, you're cutting out. Hang on.
I said, I think this is what Clementine looks like.
Hang on one second. Okay, try now.
I had sent you a photo of what I wanted her to look like. It was someone's, I assume also their OC art, and very beautiful, had ram horns, curly white hair, but looked like a fair maiden. And I don't remember anything. I think you had said before, like, she premiered, was that, oh, I got this, I'm gonna be like barmaid, I'm the sexiest barmaid you'll ever see. And I didn't know what that meant at that time. I truly just said, that's fine, it's not my NPC anymore, you do it.
I think the conversation before she even existed was, do you think that when we're at this hotel, do you think that Maverick would have one mistress that he meets over and over? And you said, yes, here she is. And you sent me a photo and her name and everything. And so when we had that scene, that first scene with Maverick and Clementine. We were never supposed to see her again. Like, it was just supposed to be this testament to what Maverick's life looks like, because we never once see Maverick in pre-Envoy life in Imperia in, like, a recorded session. We don't ever see that. So it was supposed to be this view of, like, okay, so even when he's here for a funeral and his prodigy is, not prodigy, his apprentice or whatever, this kid that's following him around is 2 doors down, he's still meeting up with this lady to sleep with her, you know? And nothing wrong with her. Like, she's was a beautiful, nice lady from the beginning. And it was Danika who decided, no, I mean, if they've been sleeping together for 30 years on and off, I don't think he's a jerk to women. I think they're good friends. And so then we created, like, you know, friends in high school and all these things. And the first time that you guys were together, she asked for money for her kid. And she didn't say, our child, hey, you need to pay child support, bitch. But she said, for my kid. And you said, and I'm quoting, yeah, that's fine. Take however much you need, but don't make it a habit. I can't have that on my books. That, like, there's that much outgoing to some random woman in the Capitol. You know, it'd start rumors. And now, looking back on that with what we know now, it's like, Maverick was, like, being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. He's like, yeah, I can give you some money, but hey, don't ask too often, because what are people going to think? That I have a bastard son in the Capitol? Please.
Right.
Which is very funny, but... And Clementine turned into, like, this... I love Clementine. She's so gorgeous and deep and amazing. And, again, I love Cyverick. Hope you guys have a long, happy life. When you guys broke up there for a minute, though, you cannot blame me for thinking that the Parent Trap might happen. And being like, you guys break up, Maverick goes back to the Capitol, and Cedric gets you two back together. Because, I really think that, I won't speak on how Cyrus feels about you, because she's not an NPC, so I can't be in her head, but I really feel like, of all of the NPCs that are in Maverick's life, NPCs made for Maverick, Clementine's the only person we've ever seen who completely, fully, and without additional explanation, understands Maverick.
Yeah.
Because Joel questions you at every turn and always just talks to you like you're an idiot. Everyone in your family hates you. Like, you tell Clementine something and she goes, okay, well, I trust you, and I think that you have our best interest in mind, and I think that you're very smart, and so I think that whatever you choose to do will be the right thing.
She also, like, she's a seer, so she's able to see, too. She saw, we put it in the canon that she saw when Maverick killed his brother.
Before, he came and told her.
Before it happened. Not before it happened. Before he came to her, she saw it and she knew. So she also knows the worst parts of him and still accepts him, whereas his family obviously knows.
Yeah.
And save for his mother and his sister despises him, which I always think is such a funny thing for Maverick, because if you look at all of the women in his life, they love him.
Yeah.
When you look at the relationships he has with men, they're not great.
They're not great.
Except for Lorik. Unfortunately, Lorik's not.
Yeah. Lorik's dead now, so, yeah.
The closest man he had, who also unbelievably was ride or die him, to where he punched him in the face when Maverick went to go die on the cliff, like a dog about to be put down. Punched him in the face when he got back.
Yeah.
And I've had, like, a sad thought, which is mainly when it comes to Maverick and I have sad thoughts, I just go, it's canon now, Maverick thinks so of himself, because he's pathetic. And it was, Maverick probably has this idea that the only reason Lorik as a man can so undoubtedly love and trust him is it took 3 people inside of him to do so. And
wow.
Not one whole part of a man would ever love him. And that is sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Now, Maverick also, canon has anxiety disorder.
That's true.
I think we said he has, like, severe anxiety at this point.
Yeah. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't in Maverick's situation? Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But, like, even the men in your life are horrible. All the men in your life suck. But your mother and your sister very clearly love you, and that's never once been doubted. And I don't think that your father or your grandfather necessarily care about you or love you. But I do think that your mother and your sister love you, but your mother has made a choice of, choosing addiction over family, staying with abusive men instead of all these things, even though she is in a situation where, with your help, she could certainly leave that situation, and she chooses not to. And I have no doubt that Maverick has offered. And then Afriel, I think she has a very, this is how things are, and it's so much more work to try to change it kind of mindset. And she admires Maverick a lot for who he is, and looks up to him and looks to him for advice and how to, what to do and everything. But still, in a very similar way that Joel does, just thinks, do you ever stop writing? Can you just slow down? You're gonna, where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You're gonna cool it off before you burn it out. If you keep running, you're gonna run off a cliff that Joel has. Joel thinks that politics should be this slow and steady, and Maverick's like, I'm tired. Let's go. And Afriel, I think, is the same thing. And Cyrus said the same thing to you in the middle. Less of a change will come, be steadfast and just wait, but more of a, you hate it there, quit. Because Cyrus doesn't stick with stuff she doesn't like. She's kind of Cyrus doesn't care about a cause, and no. Cyrus said, you hate it, and it means we can't be together, sort of. It means it'll be very difficult for us to be together. And everyone there doesn't like you, and you don't like it, and blah, 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 blah. Stop being, when are you going to stop being a politician? And you're like, I sort of have a thing to avenge my brother's life and to do what he, died trying to do. And I, again, hate to be a Maventine shipper on Maine. I do think that Clementine was the only one that, she was willing to marry you and move to Imperia and whatever, to have both you keep politics and avenge Cedar's legacy, and her son gets a father. And it shows a great exchange of love for her to be willing to do that for you, and to you not let her do that, because she cares a lot about continuing the life that she has where she's not under these big societal strictures.
Right. And if I remember that conversation he had with Cyrus, there was two. And I think one of those conversations about why don't you just stop, sorry, my fucking gauge fell out. I think that was the time that he was like, you ever just shut the fuck up? Just shut the fuck up. And Kiana had to go,
Guys. Well, that was the why don't you ever stop. She was talking about, had that conversation with you about politics, stop being a politician. The conversation you're talking about is with the boss at Bart's house, when you jumped into battle, and she was meaning literally, why don't you stop? Literally stop fighting. You don't know anything about this country. You don't know anything about these people. And it was because we had sought information from the tattoo artist about the boss, and then you tried to fight the boss right then and there. And Cyrus had told you before and then and whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me take the lead. I know these guys. Don't do anything stupid. Don't make any advances. And you jumped towards the boss. And that's when she was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop trying to do things. And you went, shut the fuck up. It was awesome. Oh my God. I think about that moment all the time. You guys yelled at each other. You and Josie.
I know. And every time me and Josie play together, we go, how badly can we play, how long and how badly can we play a couple? And then we do.
And I remember in the forest, right before your fight in the forest, it was I think this was after you guys kissed, but it was, no, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But there was something that Josie texted me and said, because you and her had been good for a minute, but then something had happened. I don't remember what it was. And Josie texted me and she said, I just want to let you know, Danika and I have been talking, and we think Maverick and Cyrus need to have a conversation. And that's when she got stuck in a hole. And you had to, after your conversation, she fell in a trap. And then you had to carry her and her broken ankle out of there. So.
After, and he's not heroic that much in this, because he also fell in the hole.
Yeah, you just didn't break your ankle.
Yeah, he fell in the hole and had a panic attack. And she had to go, because she's never, I think she's seen him have them at that point, but
no, she hadn't, because I remember that, and her ankle was broken, and she was on the ground, she couldn't move, so she said, I guess I just reach out and pat his foot, like, because she couldn't, you weren't on the ground, you were standing up and pacing around, she's like, I guess I reach out and, like, grab his ankle, I don't know, and she patted your foot, and was like, hey, what's happening? And you went, nothing, I'm fine! Okay, anyway, let's get you out of here.
I think about that moment a lot because it makes me laugh, because for context, I'll never play it. He's 6'5" and like 260 pounds. He's a fucking huge guy.
Yeah.
And he's pacing in this hole.
And
hands on his head. Just
yeah. And we said that the hole was like 8 feet deep.
Breathe.
So when you picked up Cyrus and put her over your head, you could get her out, and then she could figure out some way to get you out. So it was just like, Cyrus was like, man, we can leave whenever you're ready, dude. Like, sort of whenever you're ready.
Literally, whenever you're good, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Well, because the reason I had chosen Barbarian, in general, in the stereotypes for Barbarians, you play kind of a not intelligent character. I think some people will play them very, not some way of like bard saucy, but in a like I fuck hard way. And
Barbarians are usually dumb, hot, and strong.
Right, I said how. Brendan Lee Mulligan did not say this at the time, but he said it recently. If all characters are shards of ourselves in a stained glass window, how can I make that shard? I am a himbo, and I feel that in my soul, and I'm going to play that.
Yeah.
I just also kind of have this job. I'm a politician, and I'm like, it kind of gets in the way of being camp.
Right.
And I was like, I got to play him campy and kind of pathetic, because I love a clearly capable in every situation that comes with physical strength and money and power, but so desperately pathetic when it comes to the basis of human connection, which is being okay.
Yeah.
Being okay enough to be there for people, and then okay enough to allow people to be there for you. He's hopelessly pathetic at it until he met Cyrus, and then he met someone who
She's also pathetic.
Also hopelessly pathetic, but not trying. Wasn't at first super trying to fix that part. I mean, we saw that in the giving her a ring. How that got.
Yeah, that was crazy. Really, because I knew that you in real life did not think that would go badly.
No, in real life, I had I thought like Maverick, who was, this is gonna go so well.
Yeah.
I've given plenty of women gifts, and they've accepted it.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? And then it did.
And then she went, yeah. And I think that, like, Maverick is similar to Heidi in the way that when it comes, you're different than Heidi in one major way, but Maverick is no sweat, whatever. I'm at the front of the lines if it comes to anything strength related. If you need to take some hits, you got them. If it needs to be smooth talking in like a political sense, or flashing money or power to make something happen, you're there, you got them. If you need to, but yeah, like when it gets to that past silver tongue level of interaction, you had like 3 people on your roster. You felt like you had that deeper connection with Joel. You felt like you had that deeper connection with Clementine. And you felt like you had that deeper connection with Cedar. One of those people is gone. One of those people is in love with you. And one of those people lives in a different country. So, and the second person is in love with you and is also, like, your employee. So it's like 3 bad situation, whatever. And I think it seems to me like anything that requires you to rely on book smarts or school education, or magic knowledge or like the paranormal, it seems like all of that makes Maverick deeply uncomfortable. Like everything with hell made him very uncomfortable. Everything with the like talking to ghosts, tandem arcanum, Heidi's sorcery, like all of this stuff, because he just doesn't know anything about it, makes him uncomfortable. Or Theo being so book intelligent, like you're kind of like boo, like the discomfort of not uneducated man, but I mean he didn't pay attention, in school, didn't really emphasize any studies, being around really school intelligent people. But like backing up,
he just yeah.
No, go for it.
No, he just doesn't. I think he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like not getting it. The shard of myself in Maverick with the smooth talking, I don't really know why I chose that route. In real life, I don't do that. So that's been really fucking difficult to do, especially in a debate. My DMs made me do political debate. So never be a politician unless you are ready to be Obama. But yeah, just not getting it. That is absolutely an aspect of Maverick that's in myself. If I don't get something, I get pissed.
Yeah. Right.
I not fly off the handle, go into a rage, kill my brother. But
we've been there,
I don't enjoy it. I like knowing everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait 1 second because your connection's a little bit spotty. Check that we're still recording. We are. Yeah, and so basically Maverick's journey through Imperia was funeral, envoy, leave, arrive, grandpa sucks, everyone sees it, that's embarrassing, go to school, see Cedar's old pictures and trophies, this sucks, Carriage gets attacked, cry on Theo's front porch, Joel makes it about him and about sex, oh my god, hate that guy, goodbye Joel. Did you say something? You cut out. Not woking. There you are. Try again.
You stupid fucking the worm.
It was a worm. Yes.
Yeah.
And then continue on. We're looking through libraries. We have to go to the Tashad Ball. It's awesome. Super fun. Except the night before, Maverick does kill his dad. Talk to the audience about Carter's guest star appearance. How did the guest star thing come about? Because you were the one that came up with the idea. And then talk about, like, your experience throughout episode 6. And, like, how it led to, and where did you think Maverick's character was going to go after that point?
So, I did not know in real life about this being a guest star appearance. In fact, I remember sitting with said guest star and Joe in a Chick-fil-A. Oh,
it was your idea.
I did.
You were the one that suggested it.
It was my idea. I did not know he would go so ham that I, as a real life person, was like, wow, I fucking hate this man.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful. You don't want to, like, you weren't ever supposed to, like, this man, he was never a black and white, he was never a gray character, he was pretty black and white, he sucked. But getting further into it, the killing thing, again, I was so new to D&D, and did not even know it could. I guess in my brain, I was like, I didn't even know this could happen in a roleplay sense for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, someone dying surely is only in battle. And so, I don't remember. I remember they got there, and you made me roll to leave a kiss, and I didn't eat that. My mother kisses me on the lips, and my father says the bastard's home. And that
Honey,
was where I was like,
without the good cutlery,
so
bastard's home.
I cannot see a place.
You're so cutting out. This is so frustrating. I remember also being quite, like, new. I was very new to D&D when we started, and being of the, like, I don't want to cut this off because it's really good, but also, like, if this guest star or, like, this scene was going to happen today as my DMing, I would have been, and you know this, I would have been texting you or Carter going, okay, land the plane. Like, where is this going to go? Because it was chopped up with scenes in between, probably like 45 minutes of just Danika and Dad arguing. And it's all really good, but it's like, it's not very lean or choppy or whatever. Like, it doesn't make, it would not make a good book chapter just because it takes so long, but that does mean it's more realistic to what a real argument would look like and a real escalation. And there was a point during it where I think it was during Lorik's intervention in it that I went, oh my God, they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him in his home. Like, I realized that, and I was deeply excited, but also it was like, I think it must have been 2 a.m. when we stopped recording that session.
I knew it was kind of going on long.
That was partially Carter's fault, just because, like, he was so into like, he did a great job. He was so into the character, but he had never done anything like that before either.
No. And there was a lot of moments where Maverick had, like, end conversation lines.
Yeah.
I think Carter,
would say something else super insulting.
The cops are here. That's my father.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Josh.
God. Forgot his name. Yeah.
I've met him. Drove him home from the train station once.
I do remember that. Lore drop.
He bought me Taco Bell. And then said, bye, I'll never see you again, when he got out of my car.
Like father, like son. I have great dad. I love having really bad D&D dads.
Yeah. Speaking of dad, yeah, it's all on topic.
Yeah, speaking of dads, great one out there was a bad one in that living room. Because there was a lot of times where, like, Maverick as his kid was like, I'm done with this conversation. But, like, a real parent and kid, like, toxic conversation. The parent goes, and another thing. Yeah. And you go, what? Yeah. This simply isn't true. I think what would have been funnier if it was, like, something, like, if I envisioned that scenario as a TV show, what really would have been happening was you would hear them, like, you cut to them just going back and forth, all the good lines. You'd cut back to the envoy, like, doing really important things, and just hear muffled talking in the background during the less important lines, yeah. And like, I knew I'll admit, I knew the moment, that conversation, the moment it, like, escalated just a little bit, I didn't think I'm gonna kill him, but I did think I'm gonna hurt him. There was I was looking at my character sheet going, what the? I'm gonna punch him. Right, like, what can I do? There was a moment during that altercation that Carter texted me and said, basically, like, if you think that this is headed to Maverick... You cut out. What'd you say? Carter said what? Carter texted me and said, if you think that this is heading towards Maverick Jr. dying territory, first of all, I'm okay with that, and I can do it, and I can do it well. Second of all, like, just let me know if you want me to start rolling death saves. And that was after you pushed him the first time. And then you dropped him from the ceiling. And we know he killed Cedar with much less. Now, obviously, did you do, whatever level bard he is, did you do that much HP damage? Probably not.
But just cinematically, you killed Cedar with one push. You killed your dad with one drop, you know? And Lorik helping you, like, all these things. And it just felt right. It didn't feel like there was any other way that scene could have ended without it. And that's been such a valuable scene for me as the editor of all of our TikTok edits, because that was the first time anything had happened in our campaign, really. Like, anything shock-worthy, you know, not just, like, funny haha. The moment that you said, you know, I slammed him down on the ground, everyone's kind of going, like, watching intently. And then when I say, Carter, roll a d20. Carter, roll another. Carter, roll another. Carter, roll another. On the fourth one, Jesse goes, wait, are these? And then Carter goes, nat 1. And I go, and then Jesse goes, oh no. Oh no. And no one else on screen still knows what's going on. I think Carter did, because he knew it was happening.
Abby knew.
I don't think so. Because but I think she maybe had her suspicions, but I remember Abby, because the moment that I said, where does Maverick Tashad's mind go as his life comes to an end, she goes, like, full jaw drop. And so I don't think Devin, or Josie got it until I said that. But I remember you and Jesse going, as he said nat 1. And you guys were like,
Now what? For what? For what?
Nat 1 for what?
I also remember the, like, and crazy part about that that's really, that we don't talk about as much, because it happens, it's very small that it happens.
Yeah.
Is Lorik drops him from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, well, that would have killed him if Maverick slamming him killed him.
Mm-hmm.
It probably would have done serious damage. But I remember saying Maverick catches him.
In the couch. Yeah.
And I feel like that was a moment of, like, okay, maybe it's starting to get, like, okay, maybe now we're starting to get where, like, they're not arguing as much, they're seeing the error of their ways,
yeah.
They're about to, and then he slams them.
Yeah, because I remember you said you kicked the couch out so that it would slide out and catch him as he fell down. And then you picked him up, you turned, and you slammed him onto the ground. That was gorgeous. It was perfect.
Because I remember what was funny, I was like, imagine he pushes the couch and it, like, breaks his neck. Like, that'd be so funny.
Right.
But Maverick got what he wanted, and yeah, I caught him.
Yeah.
So I could kill him.
Right. And
then what came out of that is, for the audience, one of Joe's other favorite edits, which is a hard no in D&D.
That was the next session, but yeah, like, he says, what do you know, is this what it comes to, sons killing fathers? And you go, I didn't kill him. He just died. It's just such a perfect little tongue-in-cheek response. But what I really love about the very end of Session 6, while I'm still DMing and I'm trying to wrap things up, by the way, Session 6, the ball was supposed to happen that session. So, blah, blah, blah. But then an hour and a half of dad and son arguing happened. But we get to the very edge of it, and it's like, as you guys are arriving, you have this conversation with Cyrus where she's crying in the garden because she just accepted a hit on you. And she's gonna kill you. And she's kind of in a headspace of, like, I don't know why I'm crying, actually. I hate this guy. He hates me. I kill people. It's what I do for a living. I don't know why I'm upset.
I watched him, like, do something atrocious.
And then I watched him do something atrocious, so I don't know why I'm upset. And then you're the one that comes up and talks to her, and you guys have this awesome conversation of, like, I accepted a job. Are you trying to tell me that you have to kill me? Because, sweetheart, you're not the first person to tell me that you have to kill me. That, you know, this is not the first time that somebody's told me that they had to kill me, so why are you upset? And that's when she made this first plea of, have you ever thought about quitting politics? And just not doing it anymore? And he goes, no, you need to understand, this is what I have to do, you know? And he goes, but I can't help but ask, why do you care? And what Maverick is getting at is, you're in love with me, aren't you? Like, you like me. I don't think that he means you're in love with me, because I also remember Danika and I having the conversation after that conversation, where Danika was like, it was a session or two after that, And Danika said, well, Maverick's really confused right now because he's never hugged a woman and then not slept with her within 12 hours. So he's really confused on, like, he never would have thought that this would have become something. Because nothing ever becomes anything for him. He thought that this was like, she said she has to kill me, I hug her, I comfort her, I lure it out of her that she's probably into me and cares about me a little bit, and then we sleep together and we move on, it's all great. That's kind of what he was gunning for. And then I think he ends up basically going like, why do you care so much? And she's like, well, maybe because I don't want you to die. Okay. And we have my favorite Josie clip where she goes, I'm sorry. And you go, that's all right. That's all right. And then you hug her and everybody goes, oh my God, oh my God.
and then we wait 12 more seasons for them to kiss.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I have to blow my nose and I have to mute and it won't pick up your voice.
Personal 9/11s. I really was just not in the headspace of actual 9/11. I was thinking of the fake 9/11 that's on the internet.
That's okay. You don't have to explain. I know what you meant. Yeah, so that was a little, that leads me, my next thing says Josie romance on it. During your session 0, I had Josie's first, I think. So if you remember, yours was, you had a little bit of time alone and then you had some joint time with Abby. And that was all over Discord. And then after that, we did a joint session 0 with everybody. But you guys did not interact with each other. It was just so that you could see how everybody else did it. And it was so that you could see how did we get from our normal lives to being invited to the envoy. Or to the funeral, I mean. And you and Cyrus did not interact, but I was physically at Jesse's house when we filmed that. Like, Jesse and I were sitting next to each other, and that's when we showed you guys, you remember that video of, like, the guy crying and being like, welcome to the, and he gave you guys the introduction and he got killed on camera. That's when you guys listened to that, and it's when, everybody just got to see, like, how they get to point A to point B. Give everybody a little sneak peek of what all the characters look like. Then Jesse and I go back upstairs. It's middle of the night. We're sitting on his couch, and we're talking about the campaign and how excited we are and everything. And the first thing that we say, actually, which will be funny for viewers now, was I kind of, the way that Lorik was talking to Kiana, I really hope that he's not gunning for, like, a romance thing. Because that'd be really awkward. Like, I don't know, it doesn't, I don't know that it would work, frog, cow, like, he's kind of, like, babyish, and she's, like, supposed to be freshly 18, whatever. Well, things happen. Anyway, and then the second thing we said was, also, Josie's character and Danika's character, they're either going to kill each other, or in session 35, they will touch hands for the first time. We said it's either going to be, like, the craziest slow burn ever, where they don't touch each other, and they, like, finally touch hands in session 35, or they're going to fuck in session 1, or they're going to kill each other in session 1. Like, there's going to be no in between.
And then Biscuitgate happened.
And you guys hated each other off the bat.
Yeah. And it was funny because I remember the decisions Maverick was making where he fights a woman in a public area as a politician. That is the only thing that someone you truly one day will love, or someone you will swore, like, hatred for the rest of your life to. Only that type of relationship can bring that out,
Yeah.
And at that point I went, I need them to end up together, because certainly she will kill me.
Right. And then I think that the ball was a turning point for that. Because you guys, you had that conversation, and then at the ball, you guys go together, quote unquote, to get in, because you didn't have enough invitations. And, like, you two went together, Barton, Theo went together, and Kiana and Lorik went together. Kill me. The fact that I didn't know that Lorik and Kiana were in love with each other until 2 sessions ago was really funny. But
everyone knows.
Everyone knew except me, apparently.
Everyone fucking knew.
Everyone knew except for me and Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew at the ball. I think was when I was like,
Which, fun fact that has nothing to do with Maverick, that was the first time that Brooks played Fear. Or not the first time, but that was the first time that me, Kiana, and Fear met, was at the ball when we danced together. And he was an elf.
And that man, he was Fletch.
He was Fletch. And as we've discovered, Loric's real father is an elf. So if he was in his real body, that, like, me dancing with Fletch Loric was probably the closest I would ever get to dancing with what real Loric would be. So,
yeah.
Kill me. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Maverick. So you guys go to this ball together, and you have these rumors come out, and this is where we saw, like, a weird power couple thing immediately, because you had a rumor spread about your son, and she had a rumor spread about her being the executioner. You squashed hers, she squashed yours. She was like, I've been on an envoy with him for a month, I would know if he had a son. And you said, I've been on the envoy with her for a month, I would know if she killed some. I know that she didn't kill my dad. That's an insult that you would even say that.
Yeah.
My father died of natural circumstances. It's horrible. Like, that was it. And then we have, you know, while you're yelling at Grandpa, Joel comes up and goes, hey, can you back off my man, please? And Josie was like, or Cyrus was like, oh my God.
Those are moments that because I've had to explain to new players, like, yeah, and then you'll have, because it was for metagaming purposes, but it came out more as like, yeah, and you'll have moments where you're not in the room. Your character's not in the room. Don't even try sometimes to explain, like, somehow I'm in there. Just let two players have their moment. Just think of that as, like, fun reality TV show time.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that and Father death, the funniest, like, reality TV show cut time, because you have the players are watching daddy and son named alike arguing at a ball, and Maverick is shit-faced at this point.
Yeah.
I think I said
he drinks so much.
Keg stand or something.
Yeah.
He did something with Lord, and he's shit-faced going, no, I didn't.
I didn't kill him.
No, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Bitch. And then flip Joel going, back off.
Back off of my man.
I'm not even on. We're not even there.
I'm not even on. What? Yeah, exactly. And so then from there, like, you guys continue on. Vampire stuff, monk stuff is happening. You interact with the Empyrean, and then finally you're like, okay, we have to take my sister to her wedding. So you go from there. We lose Maverick for a minute. He gets put on a different ship. But then we do reunite with him in Abbasalia, I think, because that's where he presents the ring. She says, that's nice. And then he wants to kill himself.
Wait, at the wedding, too, you're forgetting the guard moment. Joe can't resist.
We haven't gotten there yet. So, remember, you guys stopped at Abbasalia first, and then you go over to the Swamplands. So, like, this ring moment, Danika thought that Josie would really... Oh, I think Josie did, but Danika thought that Cyrus would really like this. And I think Danika in real life was like, what do you mean you don't like it? This is supposed to be like a profession of love. And I didn't know how Josie was going to react. So when you gave it to her, and it was like this sweet thing, like you bought it at the Empyrean Market and like customized and everything. And I think that Josie thought it was for your sister or something. Like you had bought 2 pieces of jewelry, and one was a wedding gift for your sister, and the other one, I think either you said or we assumed it was for like your mother or something, or for yourself. And then it ended up being a ring for Josie, for Cyrus. And you give it to her, and she's like, oh, okay. Puts it in her pocket, and you go, aren't you going to wear it? Aren't you going to wear it, though? She went, oh, but, I'm a fighter, Maverick, can't really wear, jewelry, get in the way. That's why I got you a ring, because I thought that the bracelet would get in the way of you fighting. It just keeps going.
Maverick's standing there as a barbarian with long hair he's never put up in battle going, that's going to get in your way?
The ring's going to get in your way?
My hair goes to my ass crack, okay? You can put the fucking ring on.
And it was, I think for Cyrus, just this, like, no one's ever bought me anything before, and, like, your amount of wealth, which, like, she's so wealthy, too, but it's different kinds of money, your amount of wealth just made her very uncomfortable, I think. And also, it was, like, clearly this profession of romantic interest, and not just whatever, like, you guys kiss in the Enchanted Forest, okay, happens sometimes. Like, which we even skipped over that. Megan was guesting as Lorik when you guys kissed. Like, that moment, too, was such long coming.
Had Bart... No, he had Lorik make the painting.
And Bart made a song for her, and that apparently wasn't a big deal.
That was the other, in real life, as Danika, I was like, maybe I don't understand women.
I made you a heartfelt painting and song, and that didn't weird you out? But me buying you a ring?
What? And then I thought more, I was like, a ring usually means engagement.
But you did, like, clarify that immediately. You were like, and obviously this ring doesn't, like, mean anything. You know, it's just, like, it's just a pretty piece of jewelry, and I wanted to buy it for you. Like, I think maybe it was because it was just material. Like, it wasn't, you know, here's a testament to the time that we spent together and, like, whatever, but and to my emotions to you, but it's like, oh, and now I'm like, what do you think I am? I'm like I'm a girly girl politician's wife that can just be appeased with some diamonds. I don't know, maybe it was something like that for her, but I think it's just the material wealth aspect of it, like, that she didn't want to become, you know, another mistress that you send some jewels to, and a painting and a song is one thing, a random ring just because is a flashy, like, you know, just cause gift that might have made her uncomfortable. I don't know. And then we go to the wedding. Were you guys still fighting about the ring at the wedding?
Yes, they were not talking. It was a not great moment.
I love to play flirt, so I played the guard that flirted with you. That was awesome.
So I think Maverick and Cyrus had, like, one moment beforehand where he's like, well, I'm gonna go over here. And he goes and drinks a ton. And then he gets flirted with by a guard who he very upfront. It wasn't mean to the guard, but he was just like, I'm not
guys, he said, I'm here with somebody. Yeah, because the guard said, I just wanted to say I've been following keeping up with what the envoy's been up to, and I know about your politics, and I've seen the way you handle an axe. I'm wondering if you know how to handle a sword. And I go on my break in 10 minutes, if you wanted to show me. You know, like, not necessarily, it's not the kind of advance that Maverick would have put his nose up at 4 months ago.
No, those are the types of advances he would be sad if he hadn't gotten at.
Right, like, advances. So I don't even think that the guard was out of pocket too much, because, yeah. That
the guard probably heard.
I've heard the rumors. This works. Yeah. Well, and also, and I'm forgetting this too. Kiss in the woods, and then at the debate, Joel is like, "How are we going to address these?" Which Joel's so messy. I hate him. Joel's addressing these. I hate that guy. He's like, "How are we going to address?" Because they're certainly going to ask you. How are we going to address these rumors that this woman that you have been seen with, one, you know, they're going to ask, is this a romantic partner? And two, there's rumors of her being a criminal. How are we going to address this? Whatever. And he kept having to say, like, you know, this woman you've been seen with, whatever. And he goes, are we going to say that she's your partner? Is that, like, can we... And Josie said, say whatever you want to say. He said, I'm going to need a direct, like, direct consent to say that you are Senator Tashad's partner. Jim, yes, that's fine. And so then Maverick gets to go, my beautiful partner Cyrus Bowen's in the audience tonight, and you know, whatever. And so we get to see Cyrus being violently uncomfortable by Senator's wife energy there too, when she's going up and talking to all the other senators' wives, and they're like, ah.
They even had a conversation about it later, where he had said, I don't expect that from you. And I think he even was like, I don't want that either. I don't like any of that. Yeah. Because Maverick doesn't. It doesn't look down on those women for acting that way, but he was raised by one, and she never paints, and that makes him depressed. Yeah. So he wants a woman who will do what she wants. Now, when was the time the children went to get dumpster wine and they slept together? That was oh my god, I'm skipping so much by going straight to Imperial with the ring. Yeah, so
literally it's like kiss in the forest, leave, oh shoot, my debate's in 3 days, go, go, go. We get to the debate. Can I call you Senator Schaad's partner? Okay, fine. We openly announce to the whole world that you're dating Cyrus Bowen, whoever this lady is, wink wink, certainly not the executioner. And then you do a great job. Clementine's at the hotel when you get back with your son. It might have been before, whatever. And you get to tell your son that you're his father, and it goes really well. Really well.
Yeah.
And then after your debate, for some reason, Cyrus was turned the hell on. I don't know if Josie in real life was like, it's time, we need to do this, or what, but it was like out of character horny.
It was, yes, but also it made sense because they both just went through she had to go to a very public event and not reveal that she's the executioner, and squash rumors, and watch her boyfriend, not boyfriend, kind of boyfriend, say, we are boyfriend, girlfriend, I'm also trying to win this shit.
Yeah.
And then it goes well, and then he has a moment of son, like, I'm trying to win this shit, I hope this goes well. It goes well, and then he doesn't, I guess he doesn't do anything either with Clementine. He doesn't make any flirts. He doesn't make any flirts.
You guys were just, and that's another thing I love about Clementine, is she can really smell when to back off and when you're currently pursuing something else and, you know, whatever. And, like, she was there to be the mother of your son and his transportation and to say, hey, I really think you should, you know, now's a good time, whatever. Because she also had to be there to tell Theo the news, whatever. So she was there anyways, and she's like, when are you going to see him again, Maverick? Do it right now. And I love that about Clementine, of, like, she made one joke to you about, like, oh, trade me in for the younger model. Okay, yeah, go for it, dude. You know, how old is she again? Yeah. And then, but past that, she was like, obviously I'm fucking with you, dude. Come on. Yeah, enjoy yourselves. You guys are cute, whatever. She's a cute little thing. And then, yeah, so Clementine doesn't flirt with him. He doesn't flirt with Clementine. Off they go. And
he's dressed the nicest since the ball, the nicest that Cyrus has seen him. And she watched him on HoloCube do the one thing he is spectacular at.
He's really good at it. He owned a conservative. He looked hot while doing it. He's good at what he does. And, like, in general, it's attractive to watch people that you are attracted to do what they're good at. Like, and yeah, he's hot. He's good at debating. He does it well. And then he comes back and you guys kind of get to, like, you know, bitch at the kids a little bit. And there's some, like, fun domesticity about that, about, like, yelling at these younger people, like, don't make the same mistakes as us. Haha, don't go drink dumpster wine. And then they go play with a dog outside, and you guys are inside, and she goes, you did a really good job. Like, a really good job. And he goes, you know, are you proud of yourself? I'm proud of some of what I did, you know. Maverick's playing a little coy so that she'll compliment him a little bit. And she's going, no, like, you were really good out there. Like, and it just, and he's going, really? Wait, like, say it again. Say it again.
Like, absolutely. Maverick's tongue-in-cheek is Maverick. And just like, oh, really? How...
Say more about that.
More.
Yeah.
And then she pushes him onto the
After
bed.
You say, are you trying to dirty talk me? Are you trying to get... Because if you're trying to get me in bed, I'm all for it, but the kids are right outside. And she goes, I wouldn't worry about that. It's just, you know, it takes off your tie, tosses it off to one side. You kiss her. And she says, I'll never forget this. I love you, Josie. You wanted to see me more vulnerable. Why don't I just take this armor off? And then Josie in real life takes her armor off. She's so beautiful.
And I, as Danika Smith, went, oh, no. And this
is a ride I won't survive.
I'm not going to survive. And I think Joe made us roll for who topped.
I think I just made you roll for how good of a time it was, but yeah.
No, because that was a lie. Joe didn't do that. Later in the group chat, everyone said, well, Cyrus topped. And I had never felt more... Yeah, I was... What? I'm sorry. I have a penis in this scenario.
top is the wrong word, but I do think she was dominant. I think she was in control of the situation and told you what to do.
She probably stopped.
Yeah. She probably just stopped. Yeah, let's just be honest.
Then you have all of those moments.
Yeah.
The man's gonna give her a ring. She topped him.
Now, but in Cyrus, because I forgot that you guys slept with each other before that. In Cyrus's defense, this is such an Elphaba Fiyero moment where you guys sleep together. Yeah, when Fiyero dies the next day, Elphaba's gonna go, Fiyero! You guys sleep together, and then immediately Maverick goes, I was just thinking about you, and I got you this ring. And she goes,
thinking about you.
And then...
I think that for Maverick was like when a guy kisses you with his eyes closed kind of energy. And she's sitting there going...
And then we go to the wedding, you guys fight Hordivers. She's so much back. She's so back because of Guard flirting with you, and she goes, I'm sorry. Can I help you with something? And I think you guys, pre-Bart assassination, just go back to your hotel room crazy drunk. And you go, can we just be done? Can we be done fighting, please? And she goes, oh my god, get in the bed. And then you guys are fine again for a moment.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they slept together.
And then we get to, finally, Varanth. So, and immediately enter hell. But not before you and Cyrus break up. Fully get the fuck away from me, never talk to me again, break up. And it's because as soon as we land in Varanth, Cyrus on the ride in says, you need to, from this moment forward, assume you know nothing, and that I'm smarter, and that I know everything, and don't do anything, don't talk to anybody, don't make any assumptions, don't jump to any conclusions, don't do any actions. You don't know what it's like in Varanth. And you went, oh my god. Now I don't want to.
Maverick on the other side was like, I truly probably looking at her going, okay, why are you yelling at me? And
not that I'm not turned on by it, but why are you yelling at me?
Words I think he said to her. And that, but also, how the fuck are you gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Not to ask questions. You don't tell me anything. I've put my entire heart on this platter. You've watched me kill someone.
Right, and we're still at that point where it's like, you're like, I don't know anything about you, by the way. And she's like, you don't need to know anything about me. And he's like, no, you know everything about me, so...
Take your leather jacket off.
Yeah.
And tell me things, please. I need to know.
And in your defense, I don't know anything about Varanth. I've traveled here billions of times. I've interacted with their politicians all the time. I get, you probably know the crime situation and, whatever, better than me. But I know how to talk to a person. I can talk to a tattoo artist, Cyrus. I'm not an idiot. I can talk to these politicians. I'm not an idiot. I've met them all before. And I get Maverick's point of view, and I also get Cyrus's. She knows you're kind of a hothead. She knows you go off on the cuff sometimes, but, that's Varanth, too. So, and you know what Varanth is like.
Autistic sense of justice.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't realized until, I think a month ago, that Maverick's, I wouldn't call it a flaw, but it is certainly a road bump, is that he has this intense sense of justice, and it has to go
perfect
the way justice needs to go. Or it's not fair.
Yeah.
And that works great in politics for his voters. You're gonna give my voters what I want and what they want because I fucking said so.
Yeah.
But then in relationships,
right?
you're
my way or the highway doesn't work. Yeah.
You're gonna die. I slammed you off the couch. Yeah. I told you these things about me. Why aren't you telling them? Why aren't you talking back? I thought that's how. Yeah. Social interactions go. Where's the social contract gone, babe?
Right.
To this shark man has taken over my friend, one of my children's houses,
and kidnapped his fathers.
12. I don't know why I always say 12. 7 great men that you've taken from him.
Yeah.
How fucking dare you? his bodyguard, my girlfriend, is chill about that. That's
right.
Cool.
And then we get outside, and you're mad at Kiana because she's nearby. Drive by. She's the one that froze you.
No, I was gonna say drive by. She took away his agency. That was his anger. He's like,
yeah.
My agency.
But who you're really mad at, I think, is Cyrus, because I only froze you because Cyrus had said nobody do anything, and Kiana said I don't know anything about Varant, so sure. So like whatever, but. I think the root of who you're mad at in that moment is Cyrus, because it's like, you won't tell us anything about yourself, and now you're telling us we just have to trust and listen to you implicitly just because you lived here. Bart doesn't seem nearly as scared about all of this as you do. Bart's going up and going, "Hey, Mr. Boss Man, why are you in my house?" Like, he doesn't seem nearly as freaked out by all of this. And
Bart and Maverick, and Lorik had guy night and went to the tattoo parlor. And they get back.
You had a local with you.
Cyrus is mad at them.
Yeah.
And Maverick's like, well, when you don't tell me things about yourself, I don't know who to be mad at and who to, like, not talk to about things.
Right. Yeah.
So then they had that huge fight, and they break
outside of Bart's mansion. And I remember as Kiana, like, just being in character, I'm like, oh my god, time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. Bart just lost his home, and you guys are sitting here arguing over blah, blah, blah. And you guys are basically just arguing over, you don't tell me anything. Oh my god, grow up. I know more about Varant than you. Like, it's just back and forth. And I don't remember I think she just said, like, the same thing that she said 1,000 times to you before that's normally, like, hot and whatever, which is, are you done? Are you done being a little baby? Like, something like that. And you go, fuck you. I'm out of here. I don't care anymore. I'm done. Don't fucking talk to me. I'm gonna go with Bart. Get the fuck away from me. Don't speak to me ever again. Fuck you. Die. And then you walked away.
And then at that point, too, he was so like, you don't tell me things. And you're gonna sit here and be angry at this frog for also not telling you.
For not telling us things.
Fucking, you're.
Clock it.
You are reaping what you sow, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
And then, don't do that. And then huge breakup.
Right before you go into hell. And pretty much immediately she loses you. Like, you guys are distracted and roadblocked by grief, by Theo dying and Kiana and Lorik disappearing, and which for all you know they could have been dead, who knows. And then you go down to lust. Kiana reappears, yay, but you don't get to talk about anything because you're still mad at each other, and Maverick gets stuck because hey, in real life there's a good amount of time in between this argument and lust. And obviously we knew that Maverick needed to get stuck in lust for in real life reasons. You needed to step away from the campaign for a little bit for scheduling stuff. But like in real life, or like not in real life, in game, yeah, timeline's perfect. First, your girlfriend and you break up. Then the kid that you were supposed to be protecting dies. Cyrus is super cold about it. And she was the one that had yelled at Theo about all her monk stuff back in the forest, and they got into that huge argument because Cyrus loves to act like she knows everything. And that's, if you remember, like, Theo and Cyrus arguing because Cyrus was super flippant about all these monks dying. And then you guys break up because Cyrus won't tell you anything, but she still wants to act like she knows everything about everybody. And then this kid dies. You break up, this kid dies, and then you see a vision of a perfect Cyrus who loves you and tells you everything and listens to you. I'd stay there too.
Yep.
And it worked out really nicely for you to take the break then when you did, and to come back when you did.
Take the break, came back, and I remember thinking, it was funny because one of the visions that didn't get him stuck was when he was in that big heart bed.
Yeah.
An old Maverick, 4 months ago Maverick Endgame, would have been like, keep me here forever.
Right.
I fucking love this shit. can any of them get pregnant? I hope not. Like, that would have been him, but in the vision, he was like, I don't know, I don't like this. And then, but the moment he sees a opportunity with Cyrus to go on forever,
yeah,
and it wasn't because she agreed. It wasn't because, like, finally I have a woman who shuts the fuck up and, like,
yeah,
listens to me and, like, makes me a sandwich. It was just finally my partner is communicating with me, and it feels really nice, and I like it.
Yeah.
I've never been talked to this way before.
Well, maybe except for Clementine, but yeah.
Josie, she's coming for you.
I am! Ah! When you guys got back to... when you guys broke up, you'll remember I said, hey, there's this, you know, if you... I know you need to step away from the campaign for a minute. You could, like... leave Hell. And then you could...
Yeah.
When we see you outside of Hell, maybe you're in the Capitol and you and Clementine are, like, back together or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking. And then the moment that Jesse narrated your death scene and said, every atom of your being burns with love for Cyrus, I went, I fucking lost. I lost.
Man, I fucking lost. Vote.
Yeah.
Just vote.
Just vote. I know I'm out. Just vote.
Just vote. I know I'm out. Like, so fucking... But it was funny because here's real life player. I'm laying in my dorm bed. I've died. It's the next morning, and I wake up, as most D&D players do, and I'm going, I died, I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I wouldn't be.
And then I think a week later I get hit with cottage cheese. But I'm laying there like, oh my god, oh man, this sucks. And I get a text in the DM group chat, and I read it, and I go, wow, I have to actually think really long and hard about what Maverick would do. And I think I text back within the hour. Didn't really think. Truly, the second I saw this option, I went, he's gonna do that. Like, the other two, these would make great storylines, and they would make, like, great scenic moments. But I know what Maverick is gonna do, and he's gonna take the harder option, and he's gonna keep going.
But I loved the Eurydice and Odysseus, I think. Is that who?
Odysseus.
Yeah. Parallel of, I mean, you know, Eurydice and Odysseus are trying to escape from Hell, and you guys are in a way too, but you going through the hells to get to Cyrus is, and then you get your brand, and it's all about her. Like, yeah, I know I'm out, so just vote. It's fine, just vote.
Just vote. I'm out.
And
because every step of that way was, every person he interacted with in the new layer was, are they here?
Yeah.
No, we just saw them. He's like, every one of these bitches just saw them. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Come to find out, in game though,
you were 3 layers behind.
How time works differently. They were 3 layers ahead of him the entire time.
Yeah.
They were never just there.
Yeah.
These people in Hell either didn't give a fuck, or that's just how their time works. Like,
yeah.
They're like, yeah, I guess they were just here. But in real life, those people in Hell probably saw, like, 6 other people come before Maverick and just went, oh, yeah, you're with that weird envoy group. Your bed has holes in it.
Loser!
Loser?
What was your favorite layer of Hell to go through as Maverick?
My favorite?
Yeah. This could be compliments to the DM. It could be for what they did for your character specifically, which you didn't actually get to see any of the other people DM. But, like, you know, it could be compliments to the design of the layer. It could be compliments to what Maverick went through there.
So I'll go ahead and say my least favorite was mine.
Gluttony.
Because I set that up thinking, I'm not going to have to experience this as Maverick, because when I wrote it, it was me DMing that section.
Yeah.
And Maverick would be piloted, and I wouldn't have to experience it. So then when I did experience it, and the DMs, when Jesse put into perspective, did you know that you did this to other people?
Yeah.
This is how it feels. I was like, he did really good, but I hated it.
Yeah.
My favorite one, I want to say the boxing.
Violence. Shout out Abby.
Shout out Abby, because I love the setup of it. Just the like glorification of violence was really good.
Yeah.
And also the moment where Jesse's choice of, I hug myself. I try to, like, hug it out. And Jesse punches me in the face.
Yeah.
And goes, no, that
really
doesn't work here. And Maverick's like, I have been told to do this, and
right.
I'm not able to do that. But it wasn't that he was told that. It was just that sometimes violence does work, and in this moment, that doesn't work that way. But
right.
This isn't all violence is. Violence can be different things.
Yeah, and I think, like, we went through hell, and Maverick got being able to do that solo and being able to take as much time as he needed to with it was also really great, and it offered us some really needed Maverick just sit down character development, which in game takes place over like 4 months, but you know, we got to really just sit down and go, how does he change from this, right? And it was really, really good. And to be honest, like, I wasn't going to do any kind of hell deal with you because it just felt like insult to injury, like extra, you know, all this stuff. And I think Jesse liked the idea of the, you know, the demon hell, like, cosmology of it for the world, and it is something that a demon of hell, like the queen of hell, would do. Character-wise, I don't know that he needed it, but I'm glad that it resolved in the way that it did, because going through all of that and then being told, okay, now either die or undo all of it. What do you want?
Which is so funny, because I know that that's what that means now, but in the Maverick way, the frustration behind it was, this is lackluster. So you're telling me I went through all of this to get to this fucking freak who just wants to make a deal with me? I've made deals before, and I've found loopholes and broken them. Yeah. That's another thing. You're making a deal with a politician. Honey, I know deals.
Yeah.
And Maverick, going way back into his whole, like, this stuff makes me uncomfortable, I don't care about it, I pretend not care about it. Maverick doesn't know demonology. Yeah. He does not know this. He barely even knows his own nation's god. To the point that when he saw him, he was still standing up going, and what are you going to do about it? And someone said to kneel.
Yeah.
He's so out of it when it comes to that, because it's not tangible to him, that when it does become tangible and it's real life, like, I'm giving you this, you have to choose this, you're going to die if you don't do it, he still didn't take it that seriously, because he was like, well, yeah,
I'm not going to kill 300 people. I'm not going to give you my friends. And again, I wouldn't have done it, but I do think in the end, it offered Maverick a really great thing, because time and time again throughout Maverick's life, there have probably been moments where he says, okay, I'm on the straight and narrow now. I'm clean, I'm good, I'm going to be honest and true and be a good person. Cedar was a good person, I'm going to be a good person. And then the moment that it was hard, that it wasn't easy to continue to be a good person, he's out. And I think that offered a really good parallel here, where this is the hardest choice you can make. And you have to think back to Theo. Theo was willing to die rather than just preach something that isn't true. I have to be willing to die instead of kill innocent people and go through hell every year of my life and undo all of the good character changes I've just made through 4 months of torture. Like, I have to be willing to do this. And it offered this really beautiful character contrast for you coming back to the surface. You had this beautiful reuniting with Cyrus where she feels that breath of life on her neck, and you get back and you tell everybody about your deal, and you know, you can't help but at the same time be very touched that all of your friends are willing to help you go wrangle innocents to help you and to make sure that you live. And I hope that spoke to Maverick, that people do love him. But also, I felt very frustrated. I felt very frustrated as Kiana, because she's twisted and messed up in the head, and she thought her birthday was being capitalized. She's messed up in the head. I felt very frustrated as a DM watching everybody do this, because in my DM heart, I'm going, do you guys think he's going to do this? Like, I realize that proposing a situation as a DM and saying, do this or you die, it's, you know, kind of implied that the DM would like you to do the thing. But I'm going, do you guys not, like, Maverick's character, everything he's just been through, do you really think he's going to do it? Do you really expect and encourage him to do it?
But at that point, that, I don't think that had been released yet.
Yeah. But the players knew. And so
knew, but
I'm frustrated in a metagaming way.
And watched the entire thing go down. You watched him go through hell. They hadn't done that.
Yeah.
And so I think for them, it was also a moment of like, well, Maverick will do it, but we're not going to see him differently because we're helping him.
Right.
I think that to them was still some type of character growth. Because I think they watched...
He's not going to kill people recreationally. He's just going to do it because he has to.
Right. And they didn't see any other way. Because to them, I think it's a true testament to what players, how they thought was about Maverick was... we have to do something because there's no way we're gonna let him die.
Yeah, we love this guy.
That's we love this guy. There's no way he's gonna die. And also, I think as players, it kind of made me. I was sitting there when they were doing it. I'm like, they think that I would do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I think Joe and Danika were the only two people sitting here going, do they think Danika's going to do it? Do you know how unsatisfying it would be if the actual resolution of this whole deal was Lorik brings you 10 people chained up and you stab them each in the heart?
And I think in a metagaming way, they were probably having well, she's been gone for so long. No way this is how she comes back.
And then she's going to die immediately? Yeah.
And she, especially with, like, the real life reason of why I was gone, no one's going to go... yeah, you're gonna come back. So Maverick's gonna come back from this. You're gonna come back from that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna let yourself die.
Yeah.
But then it hit them when they woke up, all these things that they had texted, and he wasn't even there.
Yeah. I really struggled with how to do that scene, and I really thought about it for a long time, because I do think... I think to an extent, Jesse's expectation when he threw that at you was that you would kill 10 people and that it would just be this kind of like Ouroboros, you know, I can't stop kind of thing. I didn't want that for Maverick, and I don't think you wanted that for Maverick. And so it just, I tried to do my best with it and to make it very respectful, and of like, it allowed Maverick this opportunity to make this great sacrifice. And we talked about when we knew you were going to come back in hell, we talked about maybe having you come back during the battle and saving everyone with your physical prowess and this stuff. But that also just fell a little bit flat because we know that Maverick can punch and save his friends. We know that he can physically protect the envoy from dangers, and he's never hesitated to do that. But what Maverick has struggled with in the past has been being selfless in a personal, emotional way, and being vulnerable in a personal, emotional way, in a way that this is going to not benefit me in order to benefit not people that I know personally and care about, but to just benefit strangers. And he hasn't had much of an opportunity to do that, but like, he also hasn't given us any indication that he would have. You know, to save 10 strangers in exchange for your life, we don't know that Maverick pre-Envoy would have done that. No, he absolutely wouldn't have. I think he would have just, if Maverick had a gun, he would just go on the street. He would probably do thoughts and prayers afterwards. Like, cover it up, try to make it look like it wasn't him, and then donate a bunch of money to their families and hope that makes it go away. What's really funny, too, is if you take this and that... yeah, you would. He'd make the memorials, actually. That would be pre-campaign Maverick. What's funny, though, is if you think about it, if we had taken that and said, like, Imperia had the 9 hells, you put that in Imperia, that's funnier to me in the case that,
Lorik would have been like, well, you got 10 people in your family you don't like? Because Maverick does.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have been like, I'm going to call up Dad, Grandpa, and 8 cousins that I hate. And, yeah.
And the thing is, at that point, that would have been an interesting back and forth for all of them. Because I feel like even Bart would go, well, your grandpa sucks, so, like, just kill him.
The players in Varanth were saying, let's find the boss, let's find the gang members of the boss that hurt Patrick, and they're being very smart about it, but I said, hey guys, you're 1,000 miles away. You're in Azai's district, in the middle of nowhere. You're 2 weeks travel from Emberholm. You don't know anyone here. What are you going to do? For real.
I think even if they weren't, say that they were in the city and that they had access to the boss, and
you have 3 days.
But say that had been like a because if that would happen, the players, we all would have been thinking, okay, this is the secondary quest. It's their little side quest of like, okay, we're gonna travel, we're gonna have this big boss fight, and then we have to somehow, with this mechanic, this new battle mechanic. This makes total sense.
Yeah, give the soul, like Bart's thing. He killed that random paladin and he gave the soul to the queen. Like,
this would be the
done.
mechanic. The mechanic is I have to make sure I don't hit them hard enough to kill them, so Maverick can do it and get the soul. That would have made, but even then, Maverick wouldn't have even been on the carriage to go, because he would have just gone, no, I'm not doing that. I can't.
Yeah.
If I do that, what do you say? I'm no better. What? I'm no better? My life does not deserve.
I just watched the video this morning. It's you going, her saying, you fought through hell, actual hell, to get back to us, and now you're just going to give up? You said, I am. I can't do anything else. I can't kill them. I'm not even angry. I'm just sad. And I've never felt sad before. I loved that line from him. And I think that that's true of, like, Maverick really needed something like this to happen, where he can't solve it by getting angry and killing people. He can't ignore it until it goes away. He has to kind of sit there and be sorrowful. And he chooses to just climb up to this cliff, not tell anyone, and watch the sun go down with his trusty bird, and just be sad until his life ends.
I think that there was no better way to do that for him. I think that you made a really good choice there, because I can't see him dying in the house well. Take away the fact that he had a burst into flames. Crazy thing to add, Jesse. Take away that fact, even if he could, like, just kind of fall peacefully to the floor and die, he still wouldn't have.
You don't want them to see that.
He doesn't want anyone to watch him decay away. And so you get from that to that moment, and then he has to, because you add in, it was like 8 hours for him to get up there.
That's 8 hours. They don't know where he is. Yeah.
To get back down. So 8 hours thinking he's about to die. 8 hours now wondering, why didn't I die?
Yeah.
I have to go and then this is the funny part that I thought about way later. I can't imagine walking down of that cliff. I just told my bird I was about to die. I'm sweaty. I'm hungry. I'm cold. I want to be in my bed.
Yeah.
However, my friends all think I've gone away to die, because I have, and I sent letters, and I left them notes
that says I'm dead. By the time you read this, I'm dead. Yeah.
It's I'm coming back from the hospital after.
I was thinking it feels a lot like, I've just watched Breaking Bad, which is why this is somewhat on my mind, but at the very beginning of Breaking Bad, Walter finds out he has cancer, finally tells his family after knowing for a while, and then his family all launches into this spirited discussion with each other about how they're going to afford treatment and what insurance options they have and how they'll do travel to the nearest hospital and who can watch the kids. And, like, they launch into this discussion with the other adults, not Walter, of what they're going to do about it. And Walter goes, and he stops and he asks for, like, the talking stick or whatever. Like, because they had kind of framed it like an intervention for him to tell them. And he asks for, like, the talking pillow or whatever. And he says, I'm not going to do treatment. I'm just going to die. And they go, what is wrong with you? What are you talking about? No, you're not. And he goes, I don't want to die gaunt and thin and hairless and have that be the final image that my son has of me. I want to die strong and healthy and doing, you know, whatever. Like, it was, he didn't want to die because of chemotherapy. He wanted to die because of cancer. And that's what it reminds me of. Is like, you go into an emergency surgery that you know you're going to die under the knife, and then you come out and you walk home and you go to the grocery store. Like, but
yeah, he comes home, comes in, they have this intense interact, all of them with him, just like, oh my god, you made it. And then
yeah,
we sit there, we do a few other things while we're there in Azai's house. There's some things that happen, and he's just kind of
on autopilot for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't know. We players find out who saved him, really, but
no one knows. None of you guys know. I don't even think Kiana shared with you that she realized that you had the blessing of the Kraken on you. Because, and we can talk about that for a second too, because, like, Kiana, Laika, knew about you spreading the rumor at, I don't even remember when, somewhat recently. I think we were on the boat when you told me. And obviously, Jesse Kiana very mad. And Joe Kiana very mad. And we get to the beach, and I think Laika tries to, like, you know, it's fine, I actually forgive you. And clearly doesn't. And then she has, while, you know, everybody's in hell and whatever, Manic Frog, 4 months, new year, new me, with Lorik, come out, guess what, guys? I'm getting married. You know, like, she's having this big manic swing, something's going on. And then, in the midst of her new year, new me situation, she remembers, oh wait, I freaking hate that guy, because not only does he tell the world my biggest secret, but he also interrupted my birthday party by dying. So, and that is so stupid of her. Like, obviously that is, she's cracked in the head. So, yes. No, I do not, but thank you for offering. See ya. They said, we're going to go look at washers and dryers at Lowe's. Do you want to come? I will eat at some point. Just put it away. I'm not going to eat dinner, Mom. I'm talking about D&D. Anyway, so
7:45. Where are they looking at?
Don't know. So, what the hell was I talking about? This is where she remembers, like, oh yeah, I hate that guy. He ruined my birthday. And that's such a you know, she's hitting, like, her freshman year of sophomore year of college, when you kind of go kind of crazy, you know, and is just like,
oh, I know.
And that's when she realizes, I'm not actually over it. Surprise, surprise. And although Joe agrees with this, Kiana did tell Heidi, hey guys, why don't you stop trying to stop it? It's a hell contract. Maverick will do what he's going to do with it. It's his decision. Let him. And she accidentally ends up being the one most supportive of Maverick in his decision there. Because I'm saying, he says he doesn't want to get cancer treatment. He doesn't have to. It's his body. It's his medical treatment. You know, whatever. Like, he's saying he doesn't want to kill 10 people. If you make him, you're not better than Sinentra.
No.
Guys, stop worrying about what Maverick does. And I don't think she intended on being supportive when she said that, but she was. And then, obviously finds out that her brother is the one that saved you. Oh, I hate that guy. And big falling out with God, you know, whatever. And
big falling out with God.
Big falling out with God. And throughout the rest of Varanth, I think she's just kind of like, towards you, but Leica also becomes very individualistic and only wants to talk to Lorik and is kind of not talking to anybody else. But then we blah blah blah, subpoenaed, all this good stuff. We get teleported to Abyssalia, and I was saying, like, Maverick doesn't get to do much during this period of time just because it's focused on other characters. We get to Abyssalia, we fight this giant, and then Lorik dies. And I texted you afterwards and I said, any remaining lingering bad feeling about Maverick that Leica had because of the rumor thing immediately dissolves the moment that she sees that you carried Lorik into the ocean and cleaned him. Like, you handled Leica's Maverick do something in the perfect way, and you did try to heal him, and then you at least made sure that he died clean. Like, Maverick did everything right in that situation in Leica's eyes. And, okay, what's going on? And it was just, like, it was exactly what Leica needed and what Leica wanted, and any, like, frustration that she felt with you, gone. And I can see, whenever we, in 4 months, get back to jail, in Abyssalia, which is where we're at right now, blah, I can see Leica and Maverick rekindling for the better than what they've had for the last year. But
Maverick had seen another person in his life die. That the second person in his life he didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Died. Fuck his dad. Didn't give a shit on that.
Yeah, don't care about him.
No, but when Lorik died, because I remember she kept saying Maverick do something, and then I looked at my little druid sheet, and I went, I took this, which is kind of funny, because I know druids can prepare spells and, like, every session.
Yeah.
But I've always kept this spell as a, like, what if Kiana doesn't want to heal me? Like, just as, like, a little funny, like, what if Kiana doesn't want to heal me? But also as a
self-preservation of, like, hey, the healer in our party hates me, but then you end up using it for her lover.
That's a Danika thing, but a Maverick reason of, like, I want to have this healing spell is, like, oh my god, what if she goes down? I need to help her. And because of the timing of the session, that didn't get as played out, but I think canonically Maverick just spammed that spell.
Absolutely. Until you ran out of spell slots. And I think that definitely came across when Jesse narrated, like, the plants growing up.
And he just kept slamming it, just trying.
It's really good.
But he knew. He knew it wasn't going to do anything, but he still wanted her to have the comfort. Because to him, there's a comfort in finality. And that's final. Your healing didn't do anything. Yeah. My healing didn't do anything. There's nothing we can do.
Every healer in the party has tried something. Yeah.
We've all tried something.
We've all exhausted our powers.
I'm healing, and also, it's druid magic. I'm healing him with the nature, and he was born from nature. He was born from the ocean. And I'm healing him with something born from nature, and it's not going...
The Kraken's magic didn't do anything. The ocean, the nature's magic didn't do anything.
It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But he would never look at her, no matter how...
Yeah.
He's not ever angry at her. He just understands that you have your issues with me, and I get it, and I'm going to let you continue to have those, because you're young, and I want you to have the finality. Also, finality, and, like, I want to get through being angry at you. That's why when she apologized, even he was like, I know it's not a real apology, and that's fine. Please continue to feel what you need to feel.
Yeah.
Ironic coming from him. But he gets it, and so he doesn't ever want her to think, not that he didn't try, he doesn't give a shit if she thinks that. He wanted her to understand this is the end. And if that makes me the bad guy, I hope at least it's just me you think of that way. Because he was also fully expecting, in that moment, Maverick do something. He knows it's not going to work. she could easily in her grief turn around and go, why didn't it fucking work? And he would have taken that.
Yeah.
And let her use it on him.
But it seems like Maverick is scared of an alternate where she's mad at Lorik for leaving.
He didn't want...
It's like, you already hate me, so if you need to hate me more, that's fine.
Hate me more, it's fine. I don't want you to hate him, I don't want your memory of him to be him wanting to go. Because Maverick also understands wanting to go.
Yeah.
So he's playing both fields right now. I get wanting to go, and I get you needed this, you don't want him to go.
Yeah.
Which is why, he carried him out, and washed him in the ocean. Because he buried his brother. And he knows that this is what you're supposed to do before someone dies. I may not believe in God, but I know I may not believe in the God that you believe in, but I hope when you go see him, you're clean. So he wanted that for her. And also why in the end I think we said like he would have gone back. Because Heidi's like, I cannot carry you. I am not, and I'm not going to make you. Heidi's like, I'm not gonna make you, and Maverick's like, I'll make you. I'll be the bad guy again. I'm gonna make you leave these woods.
Yeah, you make me leave.
Get out of these woods. And I get grief is hard. Sometimes you can't stand. I'm gonna carry you with me. I've carried you before.
Yeah.
You can claw and scream
and she didn't.
Use your tongue. And I know you won't.
And she didn't. She went.
And he's just carrying her, and
that's a really sweet parallel too between all the times that you carried me because I'm too lavish and I couldn't possibly walk. And I think that it's very beautiful. You are the second person to say Lorik's death had you more grieving for me than you did really for Lorik, because you knew that Lorik was ready to go. And you knew that Laika was not ready for him to leave.
No, and I think I had texted, I'll tell you exactly what I texted Brooks that night, because I texted him while you guys were still playing, and I was like, man, you hurt my feelings tonight, I'm gonna hurt yours too. Because I texted him, I don't spell his name right. Where is he in my phone? There it is. He said, you were one of the 3 people close to Lorik who knew the spirits. And I said, Maverick will never be the same. I sent him How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead, because that is in real life what I was listening to while Lorik was dying. Said, yeah, this grief will come to me tomorrow morning on the loading dock when the first rays of sun hit my eyes. And then I said, as Maverick carries yet another brother out of the woods. And Lorik said sickening. Or Brooks said sickening.
Brooks said sickening, yeah.
And then I sent him the song I sent you.
Yeah.
Forwards, backward, that one. And Brooks said Lorik's last moments, he shows up trying to kill you. And we're talking about the romance, and that Maverick and Lorik, or not the romance, just how they were those months. Maverick and Lorik and Kiana's secrecy was happy for him. He knew one day he'd get to know, because Lorik always wanted to keep Maverick in the know, and Maverick always wanted to do the same for Lorik, and now he's lost Lorik and Wrath. Oh, because Brooks had said Wrath understood Maverick the most, and loved him the most. And Wrath understood the sickening feeling that's now embedded on Maverick's back. As a reminder, a Maverick will always see Lorik in the waves and the kindness in strangers' eyes. So yeah, I'm gonna throw up.
And Laika deciding, yeah, I do need to forgive Maverick, when he had been the one encouraging her to forgive Maverick this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3 rapid fire questions for you that I intend on asking every player. So, rapid fire, you ready? We're 10 levels in. Is there anything you would change?
No.
Okay. Where does your character want to go from here?
Oh man, maybe die. I think in the shortest thing that he wants to do, the most soonest thing he wants to do is get through his grief. and that will take a lifetime. So there's that.
Okay. And what is the meaning of life according to your character?
That's a terrible question for Maverick, because it used to be sex, money, and good music. Now, I think for Maverick, the meaning of life is the people in it. He sees life itself as an adversary. I don't think that will ever change with him. But the people in it are not. And the best thing that you can do in life to give it meaning is to connect and grow with the people in life that you have, like anyone in life you have. Yeah. He also is kind of in a hippie way. I don't believe there's a meaning in life. I think when you give things meaning, it can break your heart. So maybe just kind of let it happen. Let things be done to you.
Beautiful. Well, that's all we have to say about Maverick for now. We will see him again at some point in the future, whenever this hiatus inevitably ends. We're going to do some fun one-shots in the meantime, and you'll see some other player interviews coming very, very soon. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your favorite part of Maverick in levels 1 to 10, I think. And we'll see you in whatever player interview comes next. Bye.
Stay tuned. You'll see Maverick maybe go to rehab.